Hello friends, and it's funkyplaybrothers, and please remember to subscribe to our YouTube. And today I'm reading part 13 of Piggy the Cure, number 2 by Terrance Crawford, an original novel, Piggy the Cure, Cure. The last part of chapter 5. Hey Badgie, piped up Ollie's tiny voice from the back of the group. Who's Spidella? Badgie forged ahead, waving the questions off. Man, you're an inquisitive one day. I don't know, kid. Where'd you hear that? Ollie stopped, pointing to the side of the cavernous tunnel they walked through. It's written all over the walls here. Beware Spidella. The group stopped it all, pulling to the side to investigate Ollie's claim. Sure enough, the bones of some poor fool lay in a structured heap on the ground. The words "Beware Spidella" carved into the wall next to the skeleton. The group recoiled from the gruesome display, and Badger moved them each along quickly. "All right, nothing to see here," the Badger said, ushering them farther into the underground cavern. "Skeletons rarely warn you about good things. You'll never see a pile of bones directing you to a yard sale. In any other situation, Ben would want to stop and explore. This was his first time out of Lucella, and he had already seen so much: giant swinging axe rooms, underground cave tunnels. Ben was sure that they didn't have those back home. Now, with only 2 more items left on the cure checklist, was not the time. They moved deeper into the caverns below the temple. Down here, everything was carved from stone, illuminated only by the flickering light from the torches that lined the side of the cave. Every few yards, a series of mysterious symbols would appear: a circle with a black dot in the middle, or a line bent at an odd angle. Cobwebs covered in the caverns. At every angle, it was becoming clearer and clearer that no one had been down here for a long time. At least that meant they weren't going to run into any infected. But then, who was lighting the torches? "Oh, come on," Badgie whined from the front of the group. It seemed they had reached their destination. The long, winding path from the top of the mountain ended here at a large wooden door with a blue glow coming from beneath. That must have been where they kept the mushrooms. Ben stepped forward, prepared to open the door, but found no handle. He pushed as hard as he could, bracing himself against the stone for still to no avail. "You want to give me a hand?" Ben queried, not turning around and pushing at the stone slab with his back. No help came. Ben relaxed his efforts, realizing their futility almost immediately. Ollie, on the other hand, was currently transfixed with a large circular contraption off the side of the floor. "It's a wheel puzzle," Ollie explained. He learned about them in school. "You have to line up the symbols correctly, but I don't see any sort of guide." Ben looked at the device over and Ollie inspected it. He didn't see a guide, but he had seen the symbols before. "Yeah, that's the filled-in circle, and that's the bent looking thing." Ollie shot Ben a curious look. "What? They're plastering all over the walls down here." Ollie looked to the wheel puzzle, then to Ben. "Can you show me?" Ollie began to move the wheel, lining the symbol according to Ben's description. About how long you think that's gonna take y'all?" Badgie questioned, hasting clear in his voice. Ollie looked over the wheel puzzle again. Nothing. How many symbols there were to match? "About 5 minutes, it looks like." "Why?" "Well, if you could hurry up, I think I'll appreciate it." Badgie spoke slowly, as if his attention was elsewhere, but that they were working as fast as they could. Everyone here knew what was at stake. Ben turned from the puzzle to let Badgie know as much, but the Badger's attention was not on Ollie, Ben, or the puzzle. Following Badgie's gaze toward the ceiling, everything suddenly clicked into place for Ben. This draped across every inch of the ceiling was a lattice work of webbing, just like the cobwebs at the court. Had been navigating around since they arrived at the temple. Wrapped up in the webbing were dozens of infected creatures suspended and unmoving. Ben supposed that answered the question of where everyone had gone. A glint of something in the torchlight caught his eye, like reflecting off a single thread of silk. Ben's eyes followed the thread to its point of origin of the ceiling, horrified by what he found attached. That was no line of silk. It was thread by webbing. Suspended from the ceiling was the largest bar that Ben had ever seen. Each of its 8 legs was at least the size of Ollie, if not bigger. She dropped down her web line toward the 4 adventurers, fangs the size of Ben's fangs size of Ben's forearm, peeled back past gray lips. The creature wore a black coat over a red dress, each beset with an almost unsettling number of mysterious purple stains, as if they needed more reason to stay away. All 4 of the creature's eyes glowed. The same familiar red that had come to know meant infection. Ben suddenly understood. Badgie pushed for urgency. "Is that Spidella?" Ben asked. "I don't know. We didn't exchange pleasantries." Badgie shot back. "I just need one more symbol," Ollie cried out, his voice echoing across the cavernous underground. Ben looked over the wheel puzzle. He remembered seeing the symbol on their way down, but with the giant creature descending upon them, he was finding it hard to think of anything other than how he might become her next meal. Ben racked his brain. Plus, sign, circle, square. What was the last one? The spider on the ceiling grew even closer, surrounded by stone on every side. Badgie and Billy had nowhere to run. It seemed the only way out was through turning the way they had come. Ben ran back toward the entrance, scanning the walls for the final symbol. He barreled past the plus sign. He knew Ollie had already finished that section. The wheel, the circles were next to 2 black, 1 white. Ben turned a corner, a white diamond on black lines carved into the wall of a cave, a diamond that was the missing symbol. He turned on his heel to run back to Ollie, but he would have no such luck. Spidella stood in his path, 6 of her legs skittering across the stone floor, the other 2 raised as weapons. Ben opened his mouth to scream, but it was too late. The spider jabbed him with one of her arms, a searing pain accompanying the gash across his stomach. Ben fell to the ground. His head started to swim and his temperature began to rise. Through his barely vision, he could see Spidella poised to strike again. He raised Officer Doggy's taser and fired it. Missing completely, his vision was too blurry, his arms too heavy. The last thing he saw was Billy and Badgie rushing up the path to him. But as his consciousness faded, he knew that would be too late. That is the end of chapter 4. Weird how Spidella didn't just... Is he even bleeding? Do they not have blood? I don't understand how all of them are animals but him. So, friends, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow us on Twitter at the Funky Play Bros. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, Funky Play Brothers. Support our vlog at Cash App, the $ Funky Playbros. So yeah, more unboxings, more taste tests, more adventures, more monies, and support. Thank you for watching. Bye.